What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video I show you guys the criteria that we look for when we sell an FBA wholesale product. And I think you're going to be shocked at a couple of the different things on there, but this is one of the most asked questions that I usually get in the comments. So you guys asked and I'm listening, so I'm super fired up for this video. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. So clearly I was just joking. Yes, I'm not that fired up. I mean, this is a pretty basic question. So for basic questions, I don't get that fired up. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I'm still going to show you guys just because I feel like it and I like you. So let's take a look at the criteria that I look for. There's 5 basic things I look for when trying to pick a wholesale product for my store or my clients' FBA stores. And again, if you want to have a phone call to discuss FBA wholesale options, then my email is below in the description. And also there is a link for the tool that I'm going to use that is a lot cheaper than Helium 10, is just as good as Helium 10. I'm really enjoying it. It's called Zonbase. It's a tool from Kevin David. So it's a pretty good tool. It works real well, and I've been using it and enjoying it quite a bit. So my affiliate link is below, and I do get paid a little bit, which goes to the help of making these videos, which you guys know takes a lot for me to make these videos. So let's go ahead and jump into the 5 criteria that we need. Clearly, the number one thing that we want to have is profit on this product. So the first thing that we look for is a product that sells for at least $25. Now, keep in mind, that is what I look for from a newbie's perspective, meaning if you're brand spanking new to the business, I want you to look for products that are $25 and higher. And the reason for that is that they usually have more profit in them, and they're usually the products that are the most worthwhile to send in because of all the work that you do have to do. Now, let's face it, you are going to have to do some work. That includes scouting the product, sourcing the product, and then finally making sure it gets to either a prep center or to your home and prepping it and then sending it into Amazon. So quite a bit of work. You want to make sure that you at least get a pretty decent amount on the sale. Now, keep in mind, as you get more advanced or you start to have a team that handles this for you, you can certainly lower the price that you look for getting for each product. Like, for example, on some of the stores that I do look for a price point of possibly even $17 or even $15. It depends on the margins and how much profit we're getting on each and every single product. But most importantly, when you first start, be a little bit more cautious and look for products that have a lot more profit. That's why I like to go in the $25 range and higher. Now, second thing that I look for, and this is possibly one of the more important things to look for, is make sure Amazon is not a seller. And I'll tell you more about that later. That's just because they usually never run out of inventory unless it's a manufacturer problem, meaning like in this example, we've got Colgate. And what we can clearly see is when we click into the listing right here, you'll see shipped by Amazon, shipped from Amazon, sold by Amazon.com. Now, there are several other sellers offering this, and these guys are primarily offering it because they hope that Amazon runs out, or there are some people that do very rarely get to rotate the buy box with Amazon. So you might be saying like, Liz, what the hell does that mean? Rotate the buy box. Now you're talking complete mumbo jumbo. Well, what it means to rotate the buy box means that if you just blindly come in here as a buyer and just decide to hit one-time purchase on this and hit add to cart, the likelihood that this is going to be sold by Amazon, meaning that Amazon puts money in their pocket when they sell it to you, is pretty much a given. And that is because it says right here, ships, and the keywords are sold by Amazon. Whereas the buy box basically means that I add it to cart and whoever has the buy box, in this case it's Amazon, will more than likely get the sale. However, there are times that this will rotate to the other sellers, particularly sellers with a lot of feedback, a long running track record, and just overall good sellers. So there's sometimes that somebody like S&S Delights will get the sale as well, or Premier Prime Outlet, or even Granger's Kids AAJG. Yes, that's the name of the store. So, as I said before, there is a small likelihood that you can get the buy box if you're a long-term seller that has good feedback and a good overall record, but it's just too much to have to compete with Amazon. So I would completely just stay away from products where it says sold by Amazon.com. Just stay away from those. You can't go wrong. All right, and the third thing that I look for is to stay away from products where the manufacturer is the seller. And what I mean by this is, in this case, I looked up blackout curtains and I came up with this brand called Decanovo Blackout Curtains. You'll see the price is $19.26, so that doesn't really fit the beginner rule. However, this particular product ships from Amazon and sold by Decanovo. We can clearly see that Decanovo is the only seller on this, and they are also the brand, which basically means they are a private label seller. So we want to stay away from that, because what happens if we try and sell something like this is we'll probably get letters from them with cease and desist and trademark infringing letters and things of that nature. So we want to stay away from that. We want to stay clean, and we don't want to get in trouble with Amazon and or lose our account at some point. So you want to stay completely away from products where the brand owner is also the only or one of the few sellers on the account, because it's pretty much a clear-cut indication that it is a private label product. All right, so the next thing that we look for, and we're still going to use this Decanovo blackout curtains as an example. We're just going to pretend it fits all criteria up to this point. And we want to see that this is a product that has been selling consistently over the past 6 months for the same price. So right now we've got a price of $19.26. It doesn't look like it's on sale or anything. So let's scroll down and let's take a look. Over the course of the past 6 months, has this product been consistently selling between those prices? And the answer is it's gone from between 30 and 20. So if this product, it consistently does that. They go from 30 to 20, it went to 17.33. It's kind of all over the place. Now, that fluctuation doesn't really scare me because it's consistently been between 20 and 30. So if I get a wholesale cost of something that fits the $20 mark or the $19.26 mark, then I'm fine with it. But it has consistently been selling for the past 6 months. If you're a little bit more aggressive, you can choose the past 3 months. This is entirely, again, up to what your skill level is as well as your comfortability. And when I first start, I usually tell people look for the 6 months of consistency. But again, it's sort of like the price thing that as soon as you become an expert, then you can do whatever you feel. It's like a feel thing. But I use Keepa for this. I use the free version of Keepa to show me this. And then usually what I do right here is on the range, the standard is usually 3 months, so it'll show you 3 months. I will go ahead and just hit year and then take a look at the past 6 months or so and see if there's just consistency in the price from these marks. You'll see that it's new right here is the mark that we're looking for, this purple line that shows the price as it fluctuates back and forth. So that is the next thing that I look for. All right, and so the fifth and final thing that I look for if I decide to sell a product or not is I want to be able to tell if I can sell at least 20 units a month of this product myself. So I have to look at the market as a whole. And a lot of people might say like, well, how do I figure this out? It's very simple. That's where Zonbase comes into play. You can use one of the various other things out there to be able to tell this, but I will say this, the thing that I like about Zonbase, it's the cheapest out of all the rest of them. And I like to use it for that reason, because for a beginner, it can be a lot to have to spend some money to get this. So right over here, if I go over here and I want to search blackout curtains, right? I've searched blackout curtains. This is what comes up. Now let's say that I want to know what in general is selling in this market. That really is not necessary. What I need to do is instead of searching it by like this, so I can search blackout curtains and then hit the Zonbase Chrome extension, and it's going to pop up all the sales for every single one of these. And here we can pull right here, this product sells 19,629 units per month. Now that's a lot, and there is, I believe, only one seller on this. If we go back to our example of Decanovo, all I have to do is click into the listing right here, then hit the Zonbase plugin, and on the Zonbase plugin right here, I can just click on it. And then, all right, so here on the Zonbase plugin, it tells us that this particular product is selling 13,670 units a month, which means since Decanovo is the only seller, that is the amount of units that they are approximately selling per month. However, if we go back to the Colgate example, we can click into Colgate and now hit Zonbase, and it's going to tell us how many units are selling of the Colgate product, which right here, 47,518 units. Now what we can do is, let's just say for sake of example that Amazon is not the only seller on this product. We know that 47,000 units are selling, and now what we want to do is take a look at all these sellers. So we're going to hit new 7 from Amazon, and we're going to see that there's 6 options in addition to Amazon. So 6 people are sharing 47,000, or we'll just say 48,000 sales for sake of the video. That means each seller is selling 8,000 units, which is insanity if Amazon was not a seller on there. So the reality is that what we are looking at here is that Amazon is dominating this, but if Amazon was not on this, there are 6 sellers sharing 48,000 sales, which is 8,000 units per seller. So it clearly hits the rule that I use for this, which is I want to have at least 20 sales. So let's just say it was selling 100 units and there's 5 sellers, then it will hit the 20 sales because it's 5 sellers divided into the 100 sales equals 20 sales per seller, and it's good enough to go with. So those, again, are the 5 things that I look for when I'm looking to sell an FBA wholesale product. And again, as I said before, if you want to talk about the FBA wholesale opportunities that there are, my email is below. But other than that, I'm glad that I finally got to answer that question, which has been asked dozens and dozens of times down below in the comments. So I appreciate those questions. I always pay close attention to them, no matter how newbie they are. But other than that, I will see you all in the next video.